Alright, so hello everyone, my name is Tanish Kohli and welcome back to another video on the playlist called Object Oriented Programming with Python. So in this video, what we will study is that we are going to study about methods and its type. There are three types of methods in Python. One is called instance method. Alright, I'm using an eraser, sorry. One is called an instance method, one is called a class method, and one is called static method. So instance means object, and how we define method, officially how we define py sorry, just give me some time कि एक नई वीडियो बना लेते, चलो नया वीडियो बना लेते. All right, resuming the video in 3 2 1. Hello everyone, my name is Tanish Kohli and welcome to another video on the playlist called Object Oriented Programming with Python. And in this video we are going to study about methods. Methods are actually nothing, just functions that are written inside class. So there are three types of methods: instance method, class method, and static methods. So as the name suggests, instance methods will be those methods that are specific to instances, and class methods are those methods that are, independent of instances. And static methods, they are not even dependent on class as well as instance. They are, you know, pretty new things and not available in other programming languages, I believe. So that's why they're pretty new to me. And let's just dive straight into the programming and see what all the program is. All right, so let's just dive into a program first and see what is happening. So we are having a class of student, and where we are initializing n and m as name and marks. Then we are displaying the name and value. We are having a function. So this is an instance method, as it is specific to this instance because we are using self. So this self will be replaced by address of that object that we are creating. For us, we can just say name of that object. Yes, and after that it will just calculate the marks. So let me just show you something. For the while I'm erasing this, but this same part is written in the next block, so I will be showing you that as well, creating multiple objects and all. So let's run this program line by line. We don't actually need to see the variables, so let's just cross this and wait for the kernel to initialize. All right, it is taking a bit of while. So yeah, I believe it is now active. We can see this is executing cell. Actually, a lot of things are open in my PC. That is why it is taking this much time. Sorry for that. Now, class student is being declared. Then init function, that means constructor, is being called. Its location is being stored. Actually, we won't be going there. It's like that. And now going back to class, now it will ask us to input the name of student. So for this I will be writing my own name, Tanishk, and and then it will ask me my marks. So just I will write 85 because I won't be writing my actual percentage over here, else everybody will be like, oh Tanishk, just look at your marks. So all right, now we are creating actually sorry. So we are creating an object named s of student. So this s means s dot n means this specific student name. This instance student name will be n, whatever we have passed. So it will be Tanishk in this case. 85 will be the marks. And then we will go to s dot display. This will print the name and marks specific to that instance. Basically, in any function, when we are using self, it becomes instance method or instance function. If it is written inside a class, it is better to call it a method. All right, now we have printed both name and marks. Now it will go to s dot calculate, and now it will show me an error saying that I dot one is not initialized. All right, I can do that. Yes. So going to the next line, if self.m is greater than 75, print first division. Yes, they are greater than 75, so it will be printing first division, and now it will just print this separator line. Or all right, this was an error, so this cell is executed. What I have done here is that I have used this same object creation part, but it is inside a while loop. So if there are 10 or 20 or even more students, so what we can do is that we can just put 20 as our number of students, and then it will iterate, or it will go inside this loop for 20 times. That's it. No changes. I won't be running this because it will take, if I would be entering 20 student details, it will take more than 20 minutes for me to think about 20 new names and 20 new marks so that they are, you know sounding individual students. All right, so now we are having class method. So they act on class level, but they act on class level variables or static variables. So I believe that I have, written something over here. Yes. So this is what is happening in object or instance. All right, let's just. So we declared a class student, then we made its object s. So these functions were also created. These, so this self was then replaced by this address, so they went over here. This is for explanatory part. What happens is that this self gets replaced by s address of s. I have already told you in this previous videos. So what is actually a class variable? Let me just erase all of this for you. So this was how instance methods are done. So let there be a variable a that is for this class, and if we write any function and then we declare class in it, so that means its operation will be based on this class. It does not depends on this specific object if it is even being called inside this object, but it is dependent on this variable that is not a part of s but part of every student object that will be created. So let's just make it. All right, all right, I will be cutting all of these ताकि मैं सीधा इधर जा सकूं. All right, so let's just see what we are going to do. So we are actually going to make a class called bird, and we are passing object is default class for the base class for of class hierarchy. When All right, just see what is coming over here. When called, it accepts no arguments and returns a new featureless instance that has no instance attribute and cannot be given any. This is just a most basic class that is already created. We can write this and we can also not write this. We can avoid this as well, but sometimes I write it, sometimes I don't write it. Let's don't write it this time. So we are defining a variable called wings is equals to 2. This is a class variable. See, we are not defining self dot wings. We are not making it an like any constructor. And now we are defining a class variable. So class method. So this is just a decorator, and it will just tell us, every time that this is a class method. So we won't be passing self here as well. We will be passing diff fly class, and then we are passing its name, and then we are printing the name and how many wings the bird have. So we are having, let's just run this also program line by line. I like running this program line by line always. So wings 2 are also being initialized now. This is a class method, and fly is also initialized. Now it will go to bird.fly sparrow. So this name will be replaced by sparrow. So it will be printing sparrow flies with 2 wings. See, flies with 2 wings. Another bird.pigeon. So pigeon also flies with 2 wings should be the output. Our output as sparrow flies with 2 wings. What this was? This was just not based on any instance or any object. It is beyond instance, just a class level operation that we perform. And now we are going to talk about static methods. So this at a class, when processing is at class level, but we need to involve class or instance when we do some processing related to class, but not related to specific instance. Like instances are being created, but those are not specific. We have to perform something that is not specific to that instance, but instances are created. See here, no instance was created. sorry, in this program no instance was created. And for the static variables, we will be creating instances, but that won't be, method won't be specific to that instance. Basically all methods that are instance independent. This is line by me, so that's why it is having Tanishkul 2021. All right, let's run this program also line by line. I believe the last line is yet to be run. All right, yes. Now let's run this program line by line. My class n is equals to 0, and then this is gonna be our part where every instance will be created. All right, then we are having a static method, and we are having number of objects to show that it will be printed. But we are not passing here self. If we were to pass self, it would become an instance method. If we will pass class here, it will become class method. But we aren't passing any parameters, so this is a static method. Static method, sorry. And now let's just object dot one my class, and it was 0. So now n dot my class, this is a my class variable, so that is why we are representing it by this way. If we were writing itself, it would have been specific to this object, but we want it to be specific to the class. That is why we are using class name. This is also a way in which you can write program. So now it will be 1, 0 plus 1 is equals to 1. Now it will again go to that part, and it will become 2, and then it will go to this again, and now n is equals to 3. And now what we are going to do is that we are going to call this function, but we won't be calling this using any instance, because there is no self here. So we will be calling it using our class name dot instance, method name object dot met number of object, and it will print the total number of object that are there in the my class, and the variable is n. So it will return us 3. Yeah, correct. All right, now we will see how to pass members of one class into another class. This is basically how we got the idea of inheritance. Inheritance is a separate topic to be covered in the next video, but this is how you will be able to understand how why we need this inheritance concept. All right, let's run this program also line by line. Class is employee, and we are having a constructor after that, and then we are again displaying if we are having a instance method, that is display. And then again we are having another class called my class. So we are having a static method inside this is my method, and what this is doing, it is increasing the salary by 10,000, and then it will be displaying the salary. All right, so just see what is actually happening here. We are making an object of emp class, employee class, and then we are passing the id as 1, name as Tanish Kohli, and salary as 50k. So what will happen is that all of this constructor part would run now. Let's just run this, and now what will happen, let's just see. Now it will go to this line, my class dot my method e. So in this object, what we are passing e. What is e? E is actually our object. So e dot salary is 50,000. So e dot salary will be incremented by 10,000. That will be make it 60,000. And we will be having e dot display, as this function will start running. Let's just see what will happen. E dot salary, now salary just got incremented. E dot display, it will go to this block. Now it will print self dot name, that is Tanish Kohli, and self dot salary, that should return 60,000. So this is how we can pass, we created an object, and then we pass this object into our new class. And we defined a static methods, because my class, it is this method is part of my class and not using class or self. That is why it is a static method, class inside a class. I actually never knew that I could do this thing, but yes, I believe you also I would have never heard about this concept called nested class. Do let me know if you guys know in the comments below. So this is class person, and then we are all right. Let's just first end this program. One more line to go. Yeah, correct. Now what will let's run this program also and then explain. I'll be explaining it. So this is we are defining a class person, then a constructor time, then display function, then we are having another class called dob, which is again having a constructor and again displaying the date of birth. So what we will do is that let's first make p an object of person class, and then let's just display the person's detail. So self dot name is equals to Tanishq, and in this part self dot dob, this is dob object, this class. So we made its object inside our constructor. So what will happen now, it will go to this part and come back to this part. Let's just see. All right, now the date of birth is initialized as 22nd 12 2000. And now what we are having, we are again in this part. Now what we are going to do is that we are p dot db persons dot date of birth is equals to x. So we are going to call x dot display, and this will return this part. All right, let's just you know person dot display, and now I have my name over here. And now we are having x is equals to p dot db, whatever this value is, date of birth. And then we are having x dot display, so it will go to this date of birth part and it will just run. See. All right, what we can also do is that we can see x dot year, whatever the year is. We can also see day. Yes, I have initialized it this way only. Day is 22nd. Yeah, that's it. That's all for this video, and thank you so very much for watching this. See you guys in the next video.